Hey everyone, Happy New Year. I hope you've had a fantastic Christmas. I know we're only just into 2026, but so far I hope it is treating you well and that you have an amazing new year. So, I've been gone a long time, quite a few months by the seams of things. I've not had a scroll through my YouTube account to see when the last time I posted, but I do think it has been like probably about 4 or so months ago. And it's been about 4 or so months since I've been on any form of diet plan. So yeah, great. But I'm gonna do like a bit of an update, everything that's been going on, a bit of a recap from last year. I'm not going to go into too much detail because if you want any nitty gritty details, just look at my past vlogs and you'll be able to see all the information there, especially if you are new to my channel. And if you are, welcome. I have a great community on here. Everybody is absolutely fantastic. So I really hope you do enjoy it over here. My name's Andrea. I'm on a weight loss journey. You can tell by all my vlogs that I've been trying this for a very long time. It feels like about 1,000,001 years now. No word of a lie. But yeah, still not at target. However, good news is normally something that's new for me this time around in comparison to every other single year that I've always come round. Whenever New Year's started, I've always got back on some kind of dieting plan, and I've done a variety of different ones, which I'll go into detail in a minute. But I'm always starting right back at square one because normally I can maintain a diet for around about 6, maybe 10 months. Not really 10 months, maybe 9 months, and then I normally fall off of whatever wagon it was that I was traveling on at the time, and I just proceed to put all the weight back on. New Year rolls around and I'm starting right back from square one, which luckily this year that's not the case. I am not starting right back at square one, and square one for me is usually around about 16.5 to 17 stone. I have got all the way up to 17 stone. In fact, I think at one point in my life I was heavier than 17 stone. I was around about 17.5 stone, which, if you can imagine, on a 5'5" frame, not great at all. Extremely overweight for my frame. And I wouldn't say I look short, but I'm not. I'm definitely vertically challenged. I always say I'm vertically challenged. So yeah, not great. However, this year it is definitely different because I am not starting anywhere near 17 stone, but I still have got a decent chunk to go to get to my target. So yeah, recapping for last year. If you have been a regular subscriber to my channel, you'll know that I have chopped and changed like nobody's business last year. I was doing Slimming World, either got bored, got frustrated, didn't see the weight loss results that I wanted to, didn't believe in the plan properly, just basically ended up throwing the towel in, not giving it a chance, and ended up switching to calorie counting. Again, calorie counting, I did it for X amount of time. I either, again, got frustrated because the weight wasn't coming off as quick as I wanted. I got frustrated with having to count everything, or again, I just wanted to see better results, so chopped and changed again to the one-to-one diet. And then again with that, if you've done the one-to-one diet, you'll know that it is very, very hard. You substitute your own meals that you would naturally eat for their products, and they're all around about 200 calories each, and there's a variety of different steps you can do. Step 1 being the most extreme of like 600 calories a day, and then right up to like maintenance steps, which is like step 6. And I think even at maintenance, it's only like 1,500 calories. So a lot of people, that is actually a deficit for them. So yeah, and then obviously they go up, but only in small increments of how many calories you can have. So I did that. And if you've been following me for a while, you'll know your girl likes her food. I love my food. I've never tried to shy away from that fact. I've never come on here and said, I don't understand why I put all this weight on, because I do know why. I eat, and I eat to excess. I eat to embarrassing levels of excess. And I love food, all varieties of it, sweet, savoury, spicy, salty, everything, you name it. I love every kind of cuisine that there is out there. The only things that I don't do is red meat. That's it. That is the only thing that I don't do. But every veg, every fruit, every form, Chinese, Indian, Italian, Mexican, Greek, you name it, love it all. Love it all. Sorry, I'm just going to have a quick sip of my brew. So yeah, it's very easy to see how easy I can put weight on, because when I do eat those foods, I eat them to excess. And I love cooking, I really do. And I do love fresh fruit, veg, salad, all that sort of stuff. But then I love all the naughty stuff as well, the highly calorific stuff, the cheeses, the butters, the oils, everything like that, the baked stuff. So yeah, very easy for me to put weight on when I'm not trying to diet, or when I'm not trying to calorie count, or just follow some form of healthy eating plan. So, like I say, normally I'm starting right back at square one, and luckily this time I am not. Thank goodness, because I don't know what I would have done if I'd have been starting right back at square one. I've not used any kind of weight loss aids throughout the whole of my journeys. I am literally a diet and exercise kind of gal. I'm not into jabs or pills or anything like that. It is literally a case of I'm going to do it me. I don't want any assistance in any other form apart from moral support. That is literally the only other kind of assistance I need, is just moral support, because I truly, truly believe that if I can't do it myself, then it's not going to be something that I can maintain. If I have to rely on a crutch like Manjaro or Wegovy, anything like that, if I have to rely on that crutch, I'm not going to be able to use that crutch for the rest of my life. And then I'm not going to have learnt the skills that and this is just me personally. I know everybody's totally different. This is just coming from me. I'm not going to then learn skills that I need to do to have coping mechanisms in place, that when I come off of said weight loss aid, when I come off of whatever it is that I was using, I'm not going to have those coping mechanisms in me to then not put all the weight back on. And you can sit there and say, yeah, but you've put weight back on this time, and etc., etc. Yes, totally agree. However, it is not to the levels that it has been in the past. And I think that shows growth. So last year, the fact that I'm sitting here with a slight increase in my weight from what I was at my lowest point, I think shows massive amounts of just how much hard work I did last year to learn those coping mechanisms and to put things in place so that I didn't undo all my hard work, basically. And I'm hoping that this year will only reinforce that, so that when I do get to target and I get to maintenance land, I'm going to be able to navigate that so much more easily, and I'm not going to put all the weight on. Like, don't get me wrong, I honestly think that maintenance life is going to be so much more harder than losing weight, because losing weight, it is just a case of just don't eat as much as what you're burning off. Just don't eat as much. That's what it's all about. You've been in a calorie deficit. Whatever diet you do, you're in a calorie deficit. Whereas once you get to maintenance, and then you're having to hold on to that weight that you've got to, your target weight, whatever it is, I think that's going to be so much more harder. And there is going to be a fluctuation of like probably about half a stone, up, down, until I learn how to balance that as well. So that's going to be a whole new journey. That's going to be a whole new way of life that I'm going to have to really look into and research, and again try and think of ways that I can cope when it comes to maintenance. But that's not here yet. I'm still on the weight loss train, so that's the direction that I'm ploughing on with at the moment. So like I say, I'm super proud of myself. Yes, gutted that I've put weight on, but come on, I've had like 4 months off of any sort of plan. I've gone back to my old style of eating to a degree, because again, I have learned that I've learned that I'm basically not going to starve, which I don't know why. If I've done a diet for however long it's been, when I kind of come off of that or I'm not like watching what I'm eating, I get this mentality in my head where it's like, oh, you've gone without this food for so long, you don't know when you're never going to eat it. When you're never going to eat it again. That's good England, Andrea. You don't know when you're going to get to eat it again. You're going to be trying to diet again in the near future. So come on, cram as much of it into you as possible. And as much as to a degree of that goes into my head, this time round, I've not been full force with it. I've only eaten when I've been hungry. Yes, it might not have always been the best options, but I've only eaten when I've been hungry. I've not overindulged, so to speak. The stuff that I've been eating has been highly calorific, especially with Christmas and New Year. I've had birthdays. I mean, it's been cold. Well, it was my birthday in September. We've been away on holiday for a week. So obviously I wasn't on any form of plan then. There was drinking, lots of meals out, lots of takeaways. Then it was Kobe's birthday. Then we've had like Christmas, we've had New Year. It's just been Alyssa's birthday. So there's been a lot of foods that I wouldn't normally eat, a lot of convenience, a lot of ready-made, a lot of takeaways, a lot of eating out because of the time of year that it is. There's a lot of things to pack into such a short space of time. So naturally, the weight has just gone back on. But again, not gone on to the amount that it has done in the past. And I put weight on so quickly that for a 4-month period, for me to go from like, X amount of stones back up to 17 stone, 16 stone would be really, really easy for me. It's no challenge at all. I can put like half a stone to £10 on in a week without even thinking about it. Just taking my eye off the ball a little bit. I can easily do it. I know a lot of that weight will be like water weight, for example, because I've such rapidly changed my way of eating. But it's easy. It's very, very easy for me. And I know that a lot of you that have been subscribed to my channel for a while now are exactly the same. And it's just so easy to do. Why can't losing weight be as easy as putting it on? And why can't it be as delicious as putting it on? I have no idea. Because if it was, then none of us would have a problem. None of us would have a problem. So yeah. So getting back to the actual numbers, and you've probably seen by my thumbnail what plan I'm doing. I have sat down and thought long and hard about it because I knew that I was going to jump straight back on plan as soon as the new year rolled around. I would have loved to have chipped away at it leading up to Christmas and the new year, but realistically that just was not happening. And I just wanted the new year, a fresh start. I don't know if it's in my star sign. I'm a Virgo. I do like order. I like structure. I like routine. I love a new year for the start of the new year. And it's the whole year ahead of you is a blank page. So I don't like starting something towards the end of the year. I know I should do because I can either undo a lot of damage or I can stop a lot of damage from being done, or I can at least improve things as well. But it's just not how my brain works. It ain't. So no will in the world was getting me to start in like December, end of November, December. It just wasn't. So I've sat down, like I say, and thought really long and hard about how I can lose the weight but maintain the journey, because I think that is a lot of my issue. Again, reflecting on last year and about me chopping and changing so much. I mean, it was giving me a headache, yo-yoing back and forth, doing this, doing that, doing the next bloody thing. That it must have just been really annoying for you guys watching me. It's like, Andrea, just stick to a plan and just see it through, please. Whatever it is that you're doing, just stick to it. So this time, I've just gone through all my past, all the diets I've done, what I've been successful with, what I haven't, what I've enjoyed, mainly what I've enjoyed, and what I honestly think is sustainable, because that is what it's all about, is sustainability. Because if I can't sustain it, if I'm only going to do it for such a temporary short space, there's no point. There isn't any point at all. because I'm only going to be flip-flopping like a fish on the side of the bank. And it's no good, because then I'll put weight back on and then I'll lose it again, and then I'll put weight back on and then I'll lose it. And I don't want to do that this year. So like I said, I've sat down, thought long and hard. I need support, I need structure, I need accountability, I need routine. I need routine. I'm like a child. I need routine, and I need something that I can follow that's going to give me flexibility, that I'm going to enjoy. And you all know it because you've seen the thumbnail. I've gone back to Slimming World. Oh, that's my old book. To Slimming World, my new one. What in the hell is SWIPs? Not enjoying that bit, I will be brutally honest. When I went back to group, obviously I'd heard on the grapevine that things were changing. There's different healthy extras. There's new terminology. I can understand why they're doing it. But if it ain't broken, why fix it? I mean, I had no problem with sins. I know it has a negative like connotation, like, oh, you're sinning, it's naughty. But I know that they classed it as like synergy for like an energy value. But sins, it was just easy, wasn't it? And let's face it, the foods that you were eating that was sinned, it was higher calorific. So to call it a sin, was it really that bad? I personally don't think so. I know some people will disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine. It's what makes the world go around. We all have different opinions. But me personally, loved a good sin. Loved a good sin. A SWIP, it just sounds childish. It sounds childish, sorry. It does. Love Slimming World, but don't love a SWIP. So I'll admit it here. I will probably keep saying sins, mainly out of habit, not on purpose, but mainly out of habit. So I will try and say the right word, that it's a SWIP, not a sin, but I'm just forewarning you that I probably will slip up quite a lot. The whole healthy extra thing, where you get the healthy extra calcium, the fibre choice and the fat, I'm buzzing on that. That's great. I mean, it's very similar to the past, because you'd have your 2 healthy extra A's, and then you'd have your healthy extra B, which did include a lot of nuts and seeds, etc., which that is now your healthy extra fat content. The just differences is that you can have some oils in there now, or you can have like avocado, you can even have like tahini, which is great, so that's going to spruce up that old hummus. So yeah, I'm happy with that, because now you've got a little bit of flexibility. Do you want just 1 calcium choice and 2 other choices, like 2 fibre choices? Or do you want 1 calcium, 1 fibre, 1 fat? Or do you want 2 calcium and just 1 fibre or 1 fat? It's good because you can play around it. You've got a little bit more flexibility. And they do say that try and make sure that one of your healthy extras is your calcium every single day, because of obviously nutritional benefits. Totally understand. But even that's not set in stone. They just say try and make sure. So if for any reason you don't have any milk or cheese that day, and you just want bread and your fats, you can do it, which is good. So I do like that change. The SWIPs, not a fan of. Not a fan. So yeah, gone back to Slimming World. I feel like I'm up to date. The book is just so much more better as well. It's just laid out so much more easier. I'm glad that everything's just in one, and we don't have this folder with a million different things in, because that was annoying. And I like how, just for example, and apologies if you're really not interested in this at all, but I like how, so when it comes to the free food, for example, I like how, like free food, fruit, for example, I like how they've done the stuff that's speed, and then they've done the stuff that's just free. So they've separated it, whereas before it used to be in like a massive long column or columns, and then it'd be mixed in, so you'd have to look for your speed food throughout the column. Whereas now it's not. It's like speed and it's just free, which is great. And it's the same with the veggies. They've done the exact same. So you can see there, tons and tons of speed, and then the free. So yeah, I mean, I like it. That gets my seal of approval as well. So, gone back to Slimming World. I weighed in on Monday the 5th of January, which was Monday just gone. Today is Wednesday. And I knew I was expecting a gain because I was naughty. And again, I'm always brutally honest on my page. I was naughty. I did weigh on my scales at home beforehand. Not that day, but like a couple of days beforehand. So I knew that I was coming in with a gain. How much exactly on that day, I wasn't 100% on, but I knew that I was coming in with a good, decent chunk of a gain. Yes. Because, you know, why not? Let's go into the new year with a proper bang. But again, not 17 stone worth of a gain. Definitely not. So the last time I weighed in at Slimming World, the lowest weight I have got to last year, like the lowest weight, I managed to get down to 12 stone, 3.5 pounds on the Slimming World scales, which meant that I'd lost 4 stone, 9.5 pounds in total. I can just show you it there. So you can see it there at the top of my book. And that was on the 28th of July. So again, you can see it might have even been longer than 4 months that I've been off of all this crap. Because after that, that is when I started to struggle and I started to have a bit of a shed collapse with dieting and restricting and weight loss and doing X, Y, Z and everything in between. And that is when it did start to go wrong. So I know when I got to my lowest weight, everything started to slowly unravel. Not completely unravel. I didn't completely jack it all in. But I know after that, I was putting a bit on and then I was losing a bit and then I was putting a bit on and then I was losing a bit. And then I kept yo-yoing up and down and then gradually just up until I just gave it in. Just sacked it in. As you do, because who wants to keep seeing gains and gains and gains every single week? I know I definitely don't. So that was the lowest weight I'd got to last year in July, at the very end of July. I started at 16 stone, 13 pounds. So again, a really good weight loss overall. So I started at 16 stone, 13 pounds, which was just literally a pound shy of 17 stone. So just round it up, 17 stone. Let's face it, if I'd not had a wee that morning, I would have been 17 stone. And like I say, every single year, without fail, I've always been pretty much hovering around that number, starting the plan right back from square one, my whole journey again. However, I got on the scales on Monday the 5th, faced the music, rejoined Slimming World, but kept all my progress because I'm not about restarting all the way from... I mean, if I was still 17 stone again, I might as well have just restarted because, there's no point in continuing your weight loss to see like a massive drop to go right the way back up again. But this time I've gone like, and then I've kind of done that. So because I've only put a certain amount of weight on, I might as well just continue my journey and then just undo all of the damage that I've done and then continue. So I'm going to repay, I don't know. I always see weight loss and calories, etc. like money. Is it worth that money? Am I willing to spend that money? Is it worth it to eat it? Am I going to get enough satisfaction from it that it's worth it? And I see my weight loss as that same similar philosophy. So I see it like I'm in debt to myself almost. Like I now owe myself. I've spent this money and now I need to earn it back basically. So I did step on the scales and I weighed in at 13 stone, 13.5 pounds, so not quite 14 stone, and that I'm taking as a win. So I have put on, I believe I've put, how much have I put on? I think it's like 1 stone, 10 pound. Yeah, it will be 1 stone, 10 pound. Yeah, because I was 3.5. So yeah, I'm doing the maths. My brain is still working. Yes, I've come into the new year with a brain still. So yeah, 1 stone, 10 pounds. Great. No, definitely not. Could it have been worse? Hell yeah. Absolutely, it could have been worse. 1 stone, 10 pound. Fine. I will get it off again. It will be gone. It will be gone. It's going to take me a couple of months. I'm under no illusion of that. I'm not going to get it off over the next couple of weeks. It's going to take me a couple of months to get that weight back off again, and then I will continue with my journey. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's going to happen because, number one, obviously I want it. I've not finished my dieting journey. I'm not at target, so I still want that target. But number two, I know I can do it. I know I can do it. I've proved to myself last year alone, if you take out all the other years that I've done dieting journeys, last year alone proves to me that I can do it, that I can get down to that number, and that I don't have to undo all my hard work. I don't. I really, really don't. And yes, I could go back to doing one-to-one and you lose like on average a stone a month. I could go back to doing that. But again, what I've learned from last year is that that is just not sustainable for me. It's not sustainable for me. I just need to learn this year that when I start getting those little nagging doubts in my brain going, oh, Andrea, you're not getting the numbers you want. Oh, it's not coming off quick enough. Oh, you want to do this. Oh, you want to do that. Oh, you want that next target. Switch, switch, switch. When I start getting that I'm going to have to nip in the bud. I'm going to have to learn how to nip in the bud and say, shut your face. This is what we're doing. It works. We're going to do it. Now, with that being said, and I promise you I'm not changing plans already, it's just a little fail-safe backup plan that I've made for myself because I know how I think. It's a little backup fail-safe plan that I've made for myself that if, say, I'm going to Slimming World, because I am very much, I do love calorie counting. I do. I'm all about what goes in must be less than what you're expelling, what you're burning off. It must be less because otherwise you're just going to put weight back on. You are. It's basic science. Because I do like calorie counting and I'm very aware of calories, of what's in stuff, and I'm very aware of how the plan is flawed, because as much as I love Slimming World, I do think the plan is flawed with the whole eat as much pasta, rice, potatoes as you want, because let's face it, those three things alone are highly calorific, pasta being number one, rice very close behind it, and then potatoes. Them three are very highly calorific, and even certain free foods, stuff like salmon, oh my goodness, until I did calorie counting, I had no idea how many calories salmon is, but it makes perfect sense because it's such an oily fish. Compare 100 grams of salmon versus 100 grams of like cod, for example. It's like 3 times the calories, if not maybe a little bit more, just because of the fat content, but yet you can eat as much of it as you want. Now, if you tell me I can eat as much salmon as I want, I'm eating the whole bloody fish. I am eating the whole fish because I love salmon and there's no stop for me. So because I'm aware of those sort of things, I'm going to do the plan as it says on the tin. Literally stick to it. Stick to my 15 sins. I knew it. It was going to come out. I knew it. Stick to my 15 swips a day. No more than that. Obviously, not see the number 15 as a target to hit every day. But if I need them, I'm going to use them. If I don't need them, I'm not going to use them. And I'm going to try and just use them, my swips. You'll see a really blank expression on my face every time I say the word swip. But every time... So yeah, if I need to use them, I'm going to try and use them in things like enhancing my meals rather than to snack on. I'm going to try and snack on fresh fruit, veggies, protein, etc. Those kind of things. I will use yogurts, like flavoured yogurts, as a snack as well. But again, a lot of those, the ones that I eat, like the kvargs, for example, they're only half a sin, and I love a kvarg. So that I'm happy with, but I'm trying not to use my swips on stuff like crisps, chocolate, biscuits, refined stuff that I can easily overeat, and I do overeat. And let's face it, a bag of crisps versus an apple, which one's going to fill me up the most? An apple, obviously. Which one's more nutritionally dense? An apple, obviously. So which one am I better off eating? An apple, obviously. But do I want an apple when I want a bag of crisps? No. Do I hell as like? Because otherwise I won't want the bag of crisps. But those are the things that I'm going to try and change this year. that I'm going to try and learn to snack on free food, speed food. Well, speed food first, obviously. I'm going to try and snack on those, then fall to my free food and try and save my swips just to enhance meals. You know, like certain condiments might need to go into it. Maybe I want a little bit of extra cheese to go on top of my bolognese, whatever it might be. Maybe I want an extra wrap because I'm making burritos, for example. I'm going to try and leave them for that only. But again, not use them every day if I don't need to. So I do have a little bit of a plan. And then going back to the whole calorie side of things, if I am finding that week in, week out, I'm going to give myself like a month period of, I'm going to do the diet, the plan, exactly as Slimming World say, follow it to the letter, because again, Virgo, OCD, yes. I am going to follow it to the letter. I'm going to plan all my meals. I'm going to plan all my snacks because again, your girl loves a list. I make lists for lists. So I love doing lists, shopping plans, everything. I'm going to literally follow it to the letter. But then once I get to a point, because I will naturally be in a deficit the way that I'm eating, that's going to happen without me having to count my calories. That is going to happen. But a lot of people do find that they do Slimming World for X amount of time and then it stops working as well as it did do before. And then they find that they have to start cutting back and eating more speed food, which, yes, it's lowering calories, but again, it's not as nutritional. No, it's definitely nutritionally dense. Sorry, that was the wrong word. But it's not as like satiety dense. It doesn't fill you up for as long. So then you can end up looking back in the fridge again shortly after. You know, like, for example, a salad doesn't fill you up as much as a pasta salad does. So in that instance, when I'm finding that I'm having a period of like a month where I'm either maintaining or having small gains or having extremely small losses, like literally half a pound, but I'm fluctuating between those three different things, maintain, gain, loss. When I'm fluctuating like that for about a month, then I will go back to looking at calories, but still following Slimming World. I'll just be very mindful of my calories, that I'm not overeating on my pasta, that I'm not overeating on my potatoes or my rice. When it comes to the speed stuff, I ain't going to weigh or measure those. Not going to happen. I mean, I'm not doing it now anyway, even with the free food. This is just if I hit that bump in the road, because again, I know how my brain works. I know where I'll go and I'll be like, oh, Cambridge. I need to do that again. I need to do it because it's the only thing that works. Yes, it works because I'm not bloody eating anything. Well, I am, but not enough. So I've got a plan B. And I'm going to see this duration of my weight loss with Slimming World, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to tailor the plan for it to work to me. So like I said, just to recap, I am going to do just purely Slimming World. I'm not going to weigh, count or measure anything other than my healthy extras or anything that is swipped that requires weighing. That is the only thing I'm going to weigh. I'm not counting any calories unless I hit that bump in the road. And that bump in the road isn't going to be 1 week's worth of like, oh, I've had to maintain, right, that's it, I'm counting my calories. No, because again, bodies fluctuate. They do. They naturally fluctuate depending what time of the cycle I'm on. Have I had enough sleep? Did I eat a really, really pasta-y, carb-heavy meal the night before? Have I been for a poo? Sorry, TMI, but, you know, things like that. So 1 week, no. But if I have a month of where I'm doing that repeatedly, then yes. And I know I've been on plan 100% as well. That's the key thing, that I know that I've been on plan 100% and I've done the diet exactly as it says on the tin. And yeah, I'm still not seeing any weight losses, or I'm starting to have like small gains, etc. Then I will revert back to my calories doing Slimming World while following the plan. I'm just going to be mindful and I'm going to count those free food elements so that I know I'm not overeating. And that's the way that I'm going to do it. And I think that is going to bring me success. Like I said, I've sat down and I've thought about this for a very long time. I've weighed up all the pros and cons. And I do honestly think that this is going to be the way forward, that I'm going to be able to maintain it, that it's going to be sustainable. And that's my word of the year this year, that it's sustainable, because that's what I need. I need sustainability, definitely, because otherwise I'm never going to get to bloody target. Because if I'm chopping and changing all the time, my body doesn't know whether it's coming or going. It just needs that routine. That routine. We are a petulant child and I need it. So yeah, that's it. I think I've crunched all the numbers. I've told you all. So at the moment, I'm sitting at 13 stone, 13 and a half pound. When the Slimming World leader came round, and I've gone to my usual group at 10 o'clock on a Monday morning. Love that group. Love all the girls. Everyone were giving me hugs, welcoming me back. Hi, Andrea. Oh my God, it's so good to see you. You're looking fabulous. And I'm like, oh, thanks. With me extra chin, but okay. But yeah, so lovely. So I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad to be back. And I feel that nice little warm fuzzy feeling in my stomach that I am doing Slimming World again, and that I'm going to see the rest of this journey through with the plan that I got started on and that made me fall in love with healthy eating and food optimizing. And yeah, I'm just really glad to be back on it, because it's such a one, I know Slimming World gets a lot of bad flack from a lot of other slimming groups and weight loss coaches, etc. But nobody can deny that it's not such a positive place to be. And again, apologies for those ones that seem to have like a devil consultant. Massive apologies, but you need to come to my group, because honestly, you go away with nothing but love in your tummy. You feel so happy, so buzzed, so ready to start the next week. So much enthusiasm. You really do. Even if you've had such a crappy week the week before, they just pick you up, they lift you up, they let you know that, do you know what, it's not the end of the road, let's carry on, let's pick ourselves back up, let's dust ourselves off, and let's help carry you across the finish line. And that's what they're like, and that is what I need. Doing it by myself, even with one-to-one, I mean, the last one-to-one consultant that I had, she was absolutely amazing. The weight loss group that I was in was absolutely amazing, but it wasn't that physical. And I cannot fault the support that I had from them. I really can't. It's just the diet plan wasn't sustainable. That was the only thing that faltered this last time of doing the one-to-one, because I had so much support 24/7. I could message in the middle of the morning. Someone was always up and had helped give me some support and advice and stuff. So can't fault that, but it was just the plan just wasn't sustainable. I need food and lots of it. I need to know that when I get to the end of the day, if I'm still absolutely ravenous, when I've done stuff like one-to-one, I've had nowhere that I could turn to eat. If I've eaten all my products for the day and I'm out of my calories for the day, I've had nowhere to fall back on, which usually meant then that I'd binge instead and I'd overeat on. I'd have like a biscuit. And then I'd think, well, sod it, a biscuit is totally and utterly not allowed on this plan, like at all. It's not even a case of have it in moderation. It's like, no, you're not allowed it. So then I'd be just like, right, well, I've had it. Let's shove everything else in, white bread toast with butter on and peanut butter on and everything, crisps, chocolate, you name it, just shove it in my face and then start again the day after. Whereas with Slimming World, I know that even if I've had all my 3 meals and I've snacked throughout the day, if I'm still hungry, if I am really still hungry, then I can go into the fridge, I can get some strawberries, some blueberries, an apple out, some boiled eggs, some gherkins, some crab sticks, whatever it is, to help satisfy that hunger. And if I don't want that, if that's not what I want, then I'm not obviously hungry. And I always say that to the kids, like when the kids are like, oh, I'm hungry, can I have some chocolate? And I'm like, no, but you can have a banana. I don't want a banana. And I'm like, well, then you're not really hungry, because if you was hungry, you'd have the banana. So that is, again, how I'm thinking with myself, and this is what I'm going to do. So yeah, it's been a long one. I'm like 40 minutes into the vlog now, so I apologise, but it's been a lot to catch up on, a lot of information to share with you all, especially because obviously I've reverted back to my old ways, so to speak, because I've gone back to my one true love, which is Slimming World. And again, I sound like one of those teenagers on the playground where you're like talking about someone behind the back. You hear them talking about someone behind the back. And I'm really not doing that. when it comes to other plans or anything like that, or even when I've talked about Slimming World in the past, because again, I openly admit that Slimming World is flawed in a lot of ways. That's why you've got to really do it right with a bit of knowledge. And I think that's why people fall down with the plan that don't know anything about nutrition or calories, you know, macros, etc. I think that's why people can easily fall down with a plan and say it doesn't work and all this sort of stuff. Whereas if you've got a little bit of that knowledge, or you can learn a little bit about it, then I really do think you can build a really good foundation of weight loss using the Slimming World plan, because it is uber healthy. It does encourage you to cook. I know they have a lot of ready-made meals and stuff like that now for convenience, because we are a convenient world now. If they didn't join the game, then they would have been out-marketed completely, because they just would have done. At the end of the day, they are a business. They need to make money to keep going. But they do still really encourage fresh fruit, veg, home cooking, etc. So yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So I know I've said stuff in the past about Slimming World. That all still stands true. I'm not saying anything different now than what I've said in the past. I've just not done it in the past the way that I'm going to do it now, because I'm just going to trust in the process. Whereas in the past, because I was wanting really quick results last year, I was wanting quick results, instantaneous. I wanted to start the diet plan on a Monday, and then by the following Monday, I wanted to be at Target. That's how unrealistic I was being. That is the mindset that I kind of had, even though I know in no way, shape or form that that was ever going to happen, obviously. But that's still where my brain went. This year, I'm being realistic and I'm being sustainable with it. And I do think that this is going to be the thing that's going to see me through. And like I say, I've got a backup plan for when I hit, or if, I'm going to be confident, and I'm going to say if I hit a pothole in the road, because let's face it, all the roads are full of potholes at the moment. So yeah, if I do hit a bump in the road, then I've got a backup plan. So I hope you're going to stick with me. I'm going to group on Monday next week. My husband is on earlies next week, so it means I'm going to have to take Kobe to group with me. But I really do want to go to the 10 o'clock group in the morning, just because, again, that consistency, and especially with it being my first weigh-in, I don't want to go to the evening one after drinking and eating all day and then not see the result that I want to see because I've eaten and drank all day. So, yeah, I'm going to go to the 10 o'clock one. So I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking with me throughout this whole duration of hiatus and everything, and back and forth and up and down and left and right. Hiya, Cobbs. Kobe's in the room with me now. And yeah, keep fingers crossed for next week. I'm hoping for £6, but anything's going to be a winner. So if I don't speak to you before, I will see you next week. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.